I swear, rain shall not dampen their spirits. These are the 2014 FIL World Lacrosse Championships. Dick's Sporting Goods Park comes back to life for a quarterfinal matchup in the championship bracket. It's upstart Israel facing Australia. Very pleasant welcome to you, along with Mark Dixon. I'm Joe Beninati. Focus carefully now, folks, on the brackets. Earlier today, the Iroquois Nationals downed a very game group of Scots to earn a semifinal date with Canada, and the winner of this one will bump into the United States in the semifinals tomorrow. Mark, the Israelis have roared through this tournament, unbeaten in 5 straight blowouts. Ari Sussman causes a great deal of havoc.
The former Dartmouth Big Green All-Ivy League performer. He is second in points at these World Championships. 16 goals, 15 assists. He had 3 goals and 2 assists as the Israelis blitzed Germany 15-1 to advance to this quarterfinal.
The Australians came through as the number 4 seed in the rugged blue division. If they are to outpoint Israel, Anson Carter is a likely trigger man.
Australia is quick and athletic. They'll be matched by the Israelis, but Anson Carter has come along lately. 2 goals yesterday versus Canada. He's versatile. He can play some attack. He can play some midfield. His production essential tonight for Australia to advance.
A soggy head coach, Glenn Meredith. How many weather delays has he and his mates suffered through? But they are ready to square off with the Israelis, who come out of the orange division flying under Bill Barroza.
Bill Barroza, gold medal winning goaltender for the 1982 United States national team. He knows what it takes to win.
Cole McCormick on the draw for Israel in the blue. Ben Newman in the goal for the Australians. We are underway. It's quarterfinal action in the championship bracket.
Both of these teams have struggled with face-offs throughout the tournament. Israel was only 7 out of 19 against Germany. Newman has been the most prolific Aussie face-off man, but still, they're under 50%.
Noach Miller plays it up top, working with Kyle Bergman. Bergman, Lee Coppersmith, and Cody Levine through the midfield for the Israelis. Israel 5-0 out of the orange division and averaging close to 18 a game, as this one's ripped off the defender, blocked there by Keith Nyberg. 6-on-6 to get things going. Bergman will switch it, playing catch with Cody Levine, a 25-year-old midfielder. Bergman, in his mid-20s as well, played collegiately in the United States at Drexel, fires and scores.
The Israelis strike quickly. They are quick and athletic. As the Australian defense talks about the slides, it's Bergman with a sweep. Just goes simply left to right. Callum Robinson steps up but does not get a stick in the gloves of Bergman. And Warren Brown, we talked about it all tournament, plays with that stick at his waist. Guys shoot high on him and he's not quick enough to get it up and make the stop.
Kyle Bergman is a citizen of Israel. He's made 3 trips in the last year to help the youth programs there. And he gets the Israelis on the board inside the game's first 2 minutes. Off the wing, racing in there quickly, Ben Smith comes up with a ground ball, and he's going right to the cooker with it. Smith all the way, he scores, beating Warren Brown in the goal for Australia.
The Israelis are pumped up, and the faithful love it. Ben Smith played collegiately at Harvard, spent the year at Johns Hopkins. Look at the great ground ball pickup, gooses it to space, and then it's just a foot race. And he outruns all of the Australian trailers. And see how Australia decided to lock down on the attackman. They didn't slide to Smith. They say, go ahead, see if you can shoot with the long pole. He shows that he does, and the Blue are up by 2.
I might as well go with this statistical nugget early. This one really jumps out at you. Israel has outscored its opponents in this tournament now in the first quarter, 45-4. That would be lopsided.
They come to play. They're energetic. They are young. They are athletic. And there's a number of Division I collegiate players dotting the roster.
Ari Sussman working in. Sussman backs in and scoops one wide of the goal. 45-4 in the opening quarter. That's like an old-fashioned Mike Tyson knockout in 30 seconds.
And that's the question that we were asking ourselves coming into this game. Okay, Israel has blown everyone out, but Australia is battle-tested. But battle-tested might equal tired.
Defensive formation in front of Warren Brown. You can appreciate it from this end zone angle. Working in, it's Yaakov Silberlicht. 7 in the blue for Israel. Matthew Cherry rounding out the attack trio along with Sussman and Miller.
Definitely an upgrade in competition for the Israelis, but they seem to be handling it quite well.
So far, so very good. Noach Miller up top there for Yaakov Silberlicht. Defended on the move by Bullock. This bouncer is tended to by Warren Brown, who's once again high on the angle with a good outlet for Callum Robinson in space. Robinson leaving Israelis in the dust, going to the goal. Morton, one more, Stiglich, and he bounced it wide of the Israel netminder Hank Altschuler.
Nice save by Warren Brown. I'm still not comfortable with that high crease, almost outside of the crease. But Stiglich, you have got to finish these opportunities. He drops his stick. He doesn't shoot it. He just kind of slid it toward the goal. You've got to pop it and score on those transition opportunities if you're Australia.
Big Nathan is 37 years old. He struck 4 times in the darkness against Iroquois, a weather-delayed game. This one, the start of which was delayed by some 55 minutes. Ben Newman in 16 in goal, playing catch with Marty Hyde. Hyde leans in against Adam Crystal, a former All-American at Drexel University. Adam is a citizen of Israel. He's made a couple of working trips over to Israel to help with the youth lacrosse programs there, as so many of these players in the blue jerseys are doing nowadays. Alex Brown for Australia. Inside, turning with it was Nigel Morton, and he rolled it wide. Morton, the hero for Australia in their blue division opener against Japan. He's hobbling a bit.
He took a whack inside. The Israeli defense is very physical. 12 penalties against Germany in their win to advance to the quarterfinals, so they bring the lumber in a big way.
You failed to mention they beat Germany 15-1. Ouch. Newman on the go, flush to the alley there. Short stick defensive play from Casey Cittadino, a familiar name to those fond of the Major League Lacrosse Denver Outlaws. Morton took his eyes off as he was ready to pull the trigger. Eitan Saperstein was in the shooting lane. Stephen Mortimer off the roll. Mortimer, good defense turned in on the outside. That's Ben Smith. Alex Brown shoved down to the deck, flag comes. It'll be Australia with the game's first extra man.
Comes at a great time for Australia. This is a team that did not get done playing against Canada last night till about 12:15. After midnight, Israel played yesterday morning, so Silberlicht undisciplined right there. Good defense to force Brown down the alley. Just funnel him to the next man. No need to extend your arms and shove him in the back. But Australia now with the EMO opportunity.
During the tournament, the Aussies are 24% effective on the extra man. Silberlicht gets the gate. We see 18, Matt Diver in the lineup, who missed the action an evening ago with a muscle injury. He is a tremendous shooter from the perimeter. We'll see if that glute muscle will prevent him from firing away tonight. On the skip, Anson Carter bounced it high over Hank Altschuler.
You can see Israel shading up to number 18 Diver, making sure that he doesn't get a shot with time and space.
Diver has it now. Cittadino will tiptoe around with him on the perimeter. 2-0 for Israel in the early going. Bergman and the long stick defender Smith have struck. Hyde turns for Brown, keep it hot to Anson Carter to the front, quick stick score! Beautiful passing, and Stiglich buries it.
The big man in the middle, Nathan Stiglich. I love the offense. Look at the redirection. The ball is spinning clockwise, then it comes back counterclockwise. The Israeli defense was shaded to the left. The quick redirection allows Stiglich to cut to the pipe, and no Israeli is within 2 yards of him as he just simply slips it past the Israeli netminder. Beautiful offense, great misdirection by Australia.
On a Wednesday night, day 7, last week we met with Glenn Meredith, the Australian head coach, while the team was practicing in Vail during the Vail shootout, involved in that tournament, in fact, and he pointed to number 5 and said he is so critical, Stiglich, that is, to the interior game. He is an expert finisher, and we've seen that from time to time in this World Championship.
4 goals against Iroquois, a 2-goal loss. Last night, double donuts, completely shut out by Canada, an 8-goal loss So when Stiglich is involved, good things can happen for Australia. They're more competitive.
26-year-old Ari Sussman will signal the play for Israel in blue. A 2-1 leader as we approach the 9-minute mark of the opening quarter. 20 minutes of running time per quarter in the FIL World Championships.
And no clearing counts, no timer on either. So as we progress through this, Joe, our 7th day of the FIL, it reminds me a little bit of football. Teams with long possessions and offenses without the ball in their sticks, and momentum can be a real tricky thing with these long possessions because there is no timer on, no counts, etc.
And it can definitely sap your energy if you're playing too much defense. This one is sent wide of the goal by Cody Levine out of Cornell University. Matt Cherry directing traffic. From behind the cage comes Noach Miller. Kyle Bergman, who started the scoring for the Israelis, 43 in the blue, marked on the outside. Working down the channel against Matthew Fuss, he missed the target.
Early on, it's the midfielders that are getting the workload for the Israelis. Cherry, the attackman, 4 goals and an assist yesterday against Germany.
Out of Dickinson College, this is Matthew Cherry, who immigrated to Israel last July. Cherry on the go, pumps this one towards the cage. Brown was pinned to the post. Cherry will track down the rebound. Israel stays on offense 6-on-6. Sussman has been electrifying in this tournament. Dazzling point totals. He tiptoed in the crease, though. It's Australia ball.
Mental mistake right there by Sussman. This field drains extremely well. Even with all the rainfall we had, it's not hard to stop and change direction. That time he simply got too close to the fire and stepped in the crease.
It has been a very consistent weather pattern in these parts. We've seen baking temperatures, at least on the turf, around midday, around noon. And then early in the afternoon, the clouds start to roll in, the temperatures drop, the rain falls, the lightning bursts, and there's a lot of grumbling from coaches and players and fans and, oh yes, broadcasters.
And you and I end up spending our time here till midnight.
Yes.
Most nights, but hey, you know, the guys are out here playing. Both these teams warmed up for an hour in a steady rainfall.
I don't expect anybody to be giving us a pity party. This is fun. It has been great to be a part of our ESPN crew. We have you covered in the quarterfinals, ESPN 3. Earlier today, the Iroquois, a hotly contested game with Scotland. Scotland played extremely well. That game was in doubt up until the last minute of regulation time. Miles Thompson with 4 as the Iroquois prevail and move into a semifinal matchup tomorrow with Canada. Carter wheeling in. The feed inside's deflected. Altshuler and Israel have the lead, and they want the date with the United States. The #1 seeds are waiting for this one, the winner of this one tomorrow at Dick's Sporting Goods Park.
What's interesting about Israel, a lot of collegiate current and former collegiate D1 athletes. Talking with general manager Howie Boykin before the game, he said the goal is for the U19 championships in 2 years, for that to be almost 100% Israeli squad. Israel from top to bottom, citizens of some way, shape, or form in that championship as the sport continues to develop in that country.
As this game progresses, we'll be sharing little tidbits on how each of these players are connected to Israel. Leventhal, who graduated from Tufts and moved to Israel a week later, fires this one off the frame of the goal, and it caroms out of bounds. Israel stays with the ball.
We're seeing the speed and the quickness of the Israeli midfielders. Leventhal with the step, no slide support. Brown again, look at how low he drops that stick, just inviting you to go top shelf.
Sussman with a quick feed, turns and scores. He waited patiently. He beat both Nyberg, the defender, and Brown, the netminder.
32nd point of the tournament for Ari Sussman.
Pardon me? Did you say 32?
32.
That's a lot.
Points. Just muscles his way in. Quick spin move. The hedge. No slide. Actually, they covered up the crease. And again, look at Warren Brown. You're not going to make the save with your shoulder or your chest. The stick so low. He jumps up instead of getting the stick up. And Sussman gives the Israelis a 2-goal lead.
That low carry of the cross from Warren Brown in goal reminds me of the way an indoor goalie protects his cage. It has been a rough go for Team Australia off the face-off. There's a flag down, but Israel has had the upper hand in winning draws early. They took the first 4 on the contest.
Warren Brown reminds me of John Marr, an old goaltender for England who played for that team lately in 1982. Played with his stick and arms down and tried to make saves with his body. One game, Joe, against the Canadians, I think he made 35 saves.
With his body, that's inviting pain. Cody Levine with a blast, and Israel is out to a 4-1 lead.
This is not a complex extra man play by any stretch. The Israeli shooters are feeling it, and they're all going high on Warren Brown. The shutoff of Sussman creates a 5-on-4. And then the simple pass over, and Levine just pings the upper 90 with a rocket.
As a team, collectively, Israel is shooting 40% in this tournament. Their offense is humming right along again in the first quarter of this quarterfinal. 5.5 to go in the first period. And 4-1 for the boys in blue. Eitan Saperstein comes up with it. Saperstein, who also played at Tufts University, a Division III power. Smith will glide ahead. Collegiate playing time for Ben, both at Harvard and Johns Hopkins on his resume. Little hidden ball game coming from Matthew Cherry. He'll be joining the Israeli Army in August. He has a draft date waiting for him.
The confidence with which Israel is playing with right now, incredibly impressive. Just keep attacking the Australians. We saw the Japanese, Andrew Lay, get shut off by the English on the extra man, and they kind of had to get into a groove on the 5-on-4. That time Sussman shut off, no problem. Give me the rock, says Levine, and he sticks it.
Head coach Bill Barroza has gone to his bench. There's the 4th attacker, Richard Chaffetz, sending one high. Barroza, a National Lacrosse Hall of Famer. All-American goalie in his own right at Roanoke College. As he pilots this Israeli squad, very impressive offensive numbers. And this is the first time we've seen them on ESPN3, and they are proving to be a powerhouse when they have the ball.
Not only are they playing for a berth in the semifinals as Israel, but if they can win, they secure themselves a spot 4 years from now in the blue division at the FIL World Championships to be held in Manchester, England.
It'll be held in Manchester for the 4th time. It was there in 2010. John Takarua, a veteran of 4 World Championship games, is tracked down by Noach Miller. Takarua, away from the pressure, scoops it ahead to fellow long stick Ross Hamilton, and the Aussies are away safely into the offensive half.
Australian bench begging for at least one call there. Looks like Takarua was held and pushed, but the referees are letting the guys play. Good perseverance by Takarua. Excellent veteran move there to stay under control, relax, turn in the right direction, and get the ball out of your stick to help.
At the outset of this tournament, you, Quint Kesnick, Paul Carcaterra, Jamie Monroe, all of our analysts were saying you like the running legs of this Australian team. Do you see them weakening here as we move later and later into the tournament?
They look tired. They look tired again. They didn't wrap up last night against Canada. A great effort, losing 12-4. That game didn't end till after midnight.
Inside move. Big save there, Altschuler, as he robbed Marty Hyde on the doorstep. Wow.
Altschuler just matches stick on stick. Marty Hyde, the beautiful inside roll. Getting inside, left of your screen, the swim move. And look at Altschuler, just match stick on stick, denied. And Joe, you know, as a former goalie, there's no better feeling than stuffing a guy on the doorstep.
Perfect timing from Hank Altschuler, who played at Cabrini, made 7 saves, didn't allow a goal against Germany in the win for Israel that vaulted them into this quarterfinal championship bracket. There's a loose ball push. Israel will have the ball. Yaakov Silberlich wants to start quickly as we can see the infraction.
It's a good call. You might be shoulder to shoulder, but he got him right on the back of the back. It's Thomas Graham with the push, and the Israelis call a timeout.
2 minutes, 12 seconds remaining in the opening half. And Israel, you look at a stat sheet, it's been dominated by 33. And Ari Sussman has come to play again tonight.
He really has. I love the physicality in which he plays. He's not the biggest, but he's quick, he's athletic, and fearless. A great finisher. He loves to get topside with that left hand, so guys will run out at him like right there, and Sussman will just turn the corner and stick it. He has had an amazing tournament, and let me tell you something, if Israel makes it to the semifinals, he will be on the all-world team.
Ari Sussman, former Ivy League Rookie of the Year at Dartmouth, has helped to propel Team Israel far into a quarterfinal in the championship bracket of the 2014 World Lacrosse Championships.
No need to rush the ball in the field. If you got it, we'll take it. If not, Hank, take the ball, slow it down, we'll get the right guys up. Let's go, boys.
So far, so good. Everything the coaching staff could have scripted for this team.
And Coach Burroughs is saying, be patient getting it up the field. Israel's been anything but, and they have yet to turn it over. They just, this is a team that has just come right out and smacked Australia in the mouth. And they keep coming, they keep coming. This is a very physical team, very athletic team, and they're showing why they blew the doors off of their first 5 opponents.
Blew the doors off. 19-4 over Sweden, 17-2 over Slovakia, 19-2 over Korea, as you see numbers at the bottom of the screen, 18-9 over Ireland, 15-1 over Germany. And the beat goes on.
And that 15-1 win came winning only 7 of 19 faceoffs against Chris Mattis.
Cherry on the sweep. Lobs it inside. That's too easy on a turnaround for Bergman off the head of the keeper. New goalie Tom Vickery has come off the pine for Australia.
I think he's the better goaltender of the two. Look at Vickery with his reaction. It's not so much his stick position, but his head's in the right spot.
The officials, led by Ian Ashworth, giving Tom time to repair his face mask.
He plays with that stick around the waist as well. Not as bad as Brown, doesn't play as high of an arc, but the goalie coach for Team Australia, Murray Keane, all-world performer back in the 90s, played a similar style.
Bergman on the go. Graham takes him to the alley and then back behind the cage. Sussman has the defender, Nyberg, hung up. Ari Sussman skipping and waiting, looking for a passing or driving lane. Turns the corner, flicks it wide. He is very favorable to that type of a delivery. We've seen it at least 3 times in this first quarter, which has less than a minute remaining in it. Semifinals tomorrow on ESPNU. Iroquois have already punched their ticket. The Haudenosaunee will square off with Canada. The winner of this game gets the United States. That's the early game, 6:30 Eastern time on ESPNU. Canada and the Iroquois Nationals, 9:30 Eastern on ESPNU. This will skip right to the cage. Vickery gets a chance to touch, and Graham looking to spark the offense now for Australia in the final minute. Graham racing ahead. Recently named the best player in Australia in the 2013 season. Robinson from 25 yards.
I think he shot that one from Aurora.
Or thereabouts. Stiglich, who has the lone goal for the Aussies, couldn't get across on that one, and we are 1 quarter complete from Dick's Sporting Goods Park. Team Israel and their supporters been saying all week they're going to upset somebody. They're going to make some noise. So far, 1 quarter of the way through, they're on their way to their mission. They have the lead over the Aussies by 3. We'll get you back to Commerce City, Colorado in just a few moments for more FIL World Championship Lacrosse. As has been their pattern through this tournament, Israel a fast starter in the opening quarter. A 4-1 lead over Team Australia here at Dick's Sporting Goods Park, field 10. For the Aussies to rally back, you'd have to expect Matt Diver needs to amp it up.
He's been great on the extra man. He's been great dodging, such an incredible shooter. Missed immensely last night against Team Canada. But they can't get the ball in Diver's stick because Israel has won all 6 of the faceoffs thus far in the contest. But if number 18 in gold gets a hold of it, watch out. he can put points on the board.
Ben Newman to draw for the Aussies in gold. It'll be Mike Gross to take the face-off for Israel. Gross, who played at Robert Morris University, he's a dual citizen, wins the draw and goes right to the net. Noah Miller is there. Callum Robinson keeps him off the edge. Cody Levine, Ari Sussman, Bergman, and Smith all on the board in the opening frame for the team in blue.
Offsides against Israel, so Australia catches a break, but you mentioned the multiple goal scorers. Balance is the name of the game.
Ian Ashworth's the referee, Lee Bryan, Scott McCullen, Ian Wilson helping him officiate this one. A quarterfinal matchup in the championship bracket. The winner will play the United States tomorrow at 4:30 local time, 6:30 Eastern on ESPNU. United States making sure they get double treatment. There's a team meal going on right now. The guys have been trying to get as much rest and relaxation as possible. There have been meetings, there's been film work, and there's been the occasional ping pong tournament.
And a little wee bowling mixed in there, but that's a team that is laser focused. They have played such incredible lacrosse. The prohibitive favorite right now after rolling through the Blue Division 5-0.
How good did they look in disposing of Iroquois yesterday?
It was 4-0. Oh, what was it? I think the Iroquois scored their first goal not until the beginning of the second half.
The United States got out to a 10-0 lead.
When you talk about face-offs, Chris Eck and Greg Gurenlian, have been lights out for the United States. It wasn't that the defense for the U.S. played great. Tucker Durkin did a wonderful job on Lyle Thompson, but it was really keep away lacrosse. And all the pressure with those extra possessions were cashed in by the likes of Rob Pinnell, Paul Rabel, etc.
5-0 mark for the Americans, 4-1 mark for Canada. Those two getting the bye, this day off before the semifinals tomorrow. Australia wants to be back in the semis. They were the bronze medalists, finished third in England. Good kick save by Altschuler as he denied Alex Brown. On the ground ball scoop, racing the other way, Jakob Silberlicht.
Look at Altschuler. Alex Brown gets a step. This is not a bad shot. It's a bouncer, and it's far up enough where Altschuler actually has to get down low and hit the deck. Stiglich could have done well by positioning himself for that rebound as it did pop out in front of the cage.
Altschuler will be a sophomore at Cabrini College, Division III netminder. This one wide of the goal, now guarded for Australia by Tom Vickery. Fuss, the speedy defensive midfielder, repositions as Israel makes a poor pass there. And the Australians need to put some points on the board and string them together in bunches.
Second straight turnover for Israel just on missing passes. You haven't seen that out of the Israelis all tournament long. Coming into this game, you're like, okay, is Israel for real? Can they step up in the competition of the Blue Division of Australia? Flip side, Australia, how beat up are they after going through Iroquois, United States, Canada? How are they battle tested or beat up is the question.
Australian victories in this tournament from the Blue Division against Japan in double overtime, sudden victory, and against England. They continue to have a stranglehold over the English side in senior men's competition. That's Altschuler barking out the defensive instructions for Israel in blue. Working across the top, Will Pickett, who's been dangerous driving from behind the cage. Anson Carter has no shooting room. He's got Cody Levine stapled to him. We are 6-on-6, 4 minutes into the second quarter. All the scoring in this one back in the opening frame. Pickett draws two, plays back. Brown fires, he bounced it wide. Alex Brown had a 2-goal performance against the United States. There's a flag on the turf right at the restraining line.
It's going to be an illegal body check. Look at Alex Brown. He's adjusting his shooting. He shot the last one about 2-3 feet closer to the goal. That time it's a higher bouncer because they're seeing Altschuler is going low on every shot. But the illegal body check on the Israeli defense, the late hit, gives the Australians another extra man possession.
Second chance for the Aussies with Saperstein in the box. As the lights start to take full effect here at Dick's Sporting Goods Park. A game delayed once more by severe weather for an hour before the initial face-off. Brown pounds this one into the turf, missing badly.
You look at the better extra man offenses in this tournament, the Iroquois, the Canadians, the U.S., they get layups on the doorstep. Australia, all of their extra man opportunity offerings, this is their second of the ball game. Everything is 12 yards and out.
Keep an eye on 5 in the gold inside. Nathan Stiglich, who had the lone strike for the Aussies in the first quarter, as this bounces out of bounds. The officials looking at one another and then offering the ball to Israel. Lee Coppersmith, who played at Johns Hopkins, his grandparents connect him to Israel. Played his high school lacrosse at St. Andrews, I want to say, a 4-time state champ down in Florida.
In Florida, yeah. And the ex-St. Andrews coach, Jeff Goldberg, an assistant to Bill Barroza and Team Israel. Guess who the new coach down at St. Andrews is, I believe? Tony Seaman.
Oh, look at you.
Coach Seaman going down south.
Noach Miller there. Noach playing for Chaffetz as he drives and fires way wide of Vickery. Good defense supplied by Alex Brown. We have quickly moved just about 7 minutes deep in the second quarter. Still waiting for the first goal in this stanza. It's 4-1 Israel. Sussman being hogtied by Nyberg. Robinson was coming to double. Chaffetz keeping it moving for Miller. And then Matthew Cherry lurks.
I like that double by Robinson. He can shade and be there for the slide if necessary, and he's big enough and long enough to recover if he has to get back to guard someone else. Nice job by Robinson.
Chaffetz was the leading scorer for Israel in the 2012 European Championships, won by England. The English going 0-5 through the blue division play. This is bounced wide. Daniel Leventhal pulling the trigger. This pass is over the top. They'll fight for it at the midline. Plucked off the ground by Anson Carter. He flings it into the Australian bench, so it'll be Israel ball.
Unlucky for Carter. He got the better of the scrap at the midfield line, but the momentum just carries the ball out of bounds. Israel doing well right here, putting pressure on the Australia defense, but I like how they've responded. And again, I think Vickery is the right choice in here between the pipes for the Australian side.
Agreed. Chaffetz, his mom is Israeli. He's an Israeli citizen living in the United States now. As we approach the 8-minute mark of the second quarter. 4 different goal scorers for Israel. A 3-goal cushion. Trying to upset Australia out of the blue division. Israel, a 5-0 mark through tournament play so far. Coppersmith bouncing one wide. Lee Coppersmith in his days as a Blue Jay was known for a very good split dodge.
And speed to burn. It's kind of the third wheel of that midfield class of John Radigan, John Greeley, Coppersmith. Those three, you always mention them. It's like a law firm almost. Radigan, Greeley, Coppersmith. But Lee's the one that had the most raw potential coming in, but really developed into a key player by his senior season.
I like that. That would look good on the letterhead.
I don't know who would want to be first, though. You know, type A personalities.
Thomas Graham coordinating along with Marty Hyde. Hyde looking to shake loose from Saperstein. Goes to the goal. Excellent trail check from Eitan Saperstein.
He's been a difference maker for the Israeli defense. Great size as they're going to give possession over to the Israeli side. Look at the patience. He knows he's beat top side, and he just waits for Marty Hyde to hang it like a loaf of bread. Saperstein just picks his pocket. If you're Marty Hyde, get underneath and keep that stick closer to your ear. Quick wrists will get you a better shot and keep you from getting trail check like that.
Coach Meredith looking on from the Aussie sideline as his team is in a riding posture against Hank Altschuler, who has at times made some sparkling saves in this contest to hold the Australians to just a single goal. Didn't give up any against Germany yesterday in 3 quarters of work. And we witnessed the German offense with our own eyes, and that startled us. A 15-1 throttling for Israel of Germany to push through to the quarters.
Germany was down 10-0 going into the fourth period before they scored their first marker. The Germans also had a tough one today. You mentioned England starting 0-5. They beat the Germans earlier by a handful of goals, so the English gets their first victory of the World Championships.
Sussman skips this one wide. So England and Japan still have hopes to finish in the top 6 of the tournament.
Yes.
If it works out, there's still plenty more games to go before that's decided.
Top 7.
7 now?
Because you have the 6 that are in the championship bracket right now with Scotland, Iroquois, Israel, Australia, and then, of course, the U.S. and Canada.
Israel to the extra man, and during this tournament, they've been very proficient. Right around 41% effective. We've crossed the midway mark of the second quarter. Levine sails one wide. Cody Levine with a nice-looking release there.
Israel under a stall warning right here. It was put on goaltender Altschuler, which meant he could only move the ball forward, which he did. And it's of no consequence now as the Israelis turn it over. But during that stall, they couldn't go beyond that restraining line that you see at the top, at the bottom right hand of your screen.
How often have you ever seen a stall warning put on with a team that's on extra man? Callum Robinson lost the handle, fumbled it out of bounds. There's a flag down again with Matthew Cherry pleading his case. Cherry, who scored 4 times against Germany yesterday.
Looks like they're going to call a slash. And look at the big koala just absorbing. Lowers the boom then on Noah Miller.
He can take and deliver a lot of punishment, Callum Robinson.
So the big koala, notice any difference in him today versus past games?
Arm pads?
Wearing arm pads. Because let me tell you something, he's been lowering the boom, and attackmen have been taking full liberty, chopping at his elbows. Looks like he's buckled up for this one.
We definitely noticed that during the United States game, a game in which the Stars and Stripes down the Australians 16-7 in Blue Division play. U.S. resting comfortably this Wednesday. They've got a semifinal date with the winner of this game tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern on ESPNU. Diver fires. He yanked that one wide.
That's the shot they want, and that's the man they want taking it. Just has to put it on cage.
Leading the team in goals. Matt Diver right there with Nathan Stiglich now. They feed inside for Stiglich. He pumped it wide, but it's backed up on the end line by James Lawyerson.
Australia started in a circle. It became a crease-oriented EMO when Stiglich popped in front of the cage. That was a nice look.
Let's see the offensive pattern develop here for the Australians. And a bullseye over the top from Marty Hyde.
Bullseye is a perfect description of that shot. With Stiglich going to the crease, the Israelis now have to pay attention to the big man in the middle for Australia. And that opened up the wing and the slow slide. Look at Marty Hyde step up and just fire a rocket over the top of Altschuler. And you saw Altschuler again, cheating low, bending. He's going low on every shot. And the Australians have been trying the high bouncers that haven't been accurate. That time, he goes high to high and finds pay dirt.
Israel has won all 7 draws.
Australia goal to number 8, Marty Hyde.
Sheldon with a mugging there on Gross. And now it's 8 possessions in a row for Israel at the X.
Crafty ground ball by Ben Smith to pull that one out.
Cody Levine on the ball. A 4-2 advantage for Israel. The boys in the blue jerseys have gone cold since Cody Levine struck back in the first. Silberlich offers for Leventhal. 22-year-old Daniel Leventhal just graduated from Tufts and moved to Israel a week later. He's been taking Hebrew classes in college.
Tufts Division III national champions this year. Coach Daly.
And ridiculous scoring numbers.
Just great scoring punch. Beat Salisbury for that national title. Mike Daly done such a great job up north with the Tufts Jumbos.
Chaffetz. Leventhal off the split. Good stop there by Vickery. Rebound belongs to the Australians in goal. It's 40-year-old Nyberg. Keith Nyberg to clear. He and the starting goaltender tonight, Warren Brown, the elder statesman on this Australian World Championship side.
This is what Vickery gives you, that low save, the athleticism to get down on his knees to make the stop. Brown constantly tries to make saves with his feet versus his stick. Left of your screen. Nice split dodge, good delivery. Look at Vickery get down low. Stick and body on that one to fend it off.
Just past the bottom of the hour, Mark Dixon joining Joe Beninati in the booth. We are on ESPN3.com. ESPNU dates tomorrow, even still more on the .com side. As this tournament progresses, the 2014 FIL World Lacrosse Championships, Commerce City, Colorado, about 10 minutes away from downtown Denver. United States, the reigning world champions. They've won this event 9 times. They are resting comfortably along with Canada this day. This is quarterfinal action in the championship bracket. Semis to come tomorrow. Pickett on the go. Citadino takes the angle, forces him below the goal line. Hammers with that cross check. Long drive from Fuss, airmails the top of the goal.
Citadino's just a different kind of animal out there at short stick defensive midfield. He's a guy more comparable to a Jordan Hall, to a Matt Abbott, to a Dan Burns. He's that kind of athlete and that kind of defender for the Israeli squad.
He's been making trips to Israel, helping to develop the sport among the youth there, and the kids actually have grown to call him Uncle Casey. When Uncle Casey comes to town, we learn more and more about lacrosse.
The turnover by Australia, Uncle Stiglich inside just shoved an Israeli defender to the turf. Interference call now. Whistle. I think there's a timeout taken by Israel.
An Israel squad that has not scored a goal in some 22 minutes.
Hey, Soberlik, go to your sideline and be quiet, okay? You're in a sea of yellow jerseys. You know, you don't want to rattle the cage of the big koala. Trust me on that. A little bit of a drama by Soberlik right there. And then, back up and start running your mouth. That's smart.
Yakov Silberlik retreats to his sideline. Callum Robinson does just the same, getting some refreshments late in this opening half. Just tuning in with us, Israel, with a reputation for striking quickly, for dominating the first quarter. Bergman and Smith before the game was 6 minutes old. It was 2-0. Stiglich responds for Australia. Sussman and Levine made it 4-1 after one. Hyde has the lone goal here in the second. Crazy night skies over Dick's Sporting Goods Park. What's coming next?
It can be so beautiful sometimes. It's just like that Skittles commercial. Do you mind if I put your cloud? And then all of a sudden, instead of getting Skittles, you get electrocuted. But I tell you what, Australia has to like the way that the tempo of this game has gone. It's been slowed down. They've been able to get some possessions. They've been able to get some good looks on the Israeli keeper, Altschuler. They have to be happy that they've been able to keep this thing at 2 goals, even actually chip away at the 3-goal lead to make it 2. But they have to be comfortable with the tempo that they've established.
I'm sure the Aussies have adjusted to the time change, but Sydney's on the extreme east coast of Australia, and it's just about midnight there tomorrow. 16 hours ahead.
Well, last night, what was it? We got done about when it was about 3, 4 in the afternoon in Australia.
Bizarre. Totally bizarre. 3 minutes left, first half of play. Israel has coughed it up 6 times. A little bit too much to their liking. Vickery makes the save, juggles the rebound into his cross, and now looks to counterpunch. Floats one for Bullock to take on the run. Sam Bullock, 27-year-old midfielder, driving back. Absorbs the hit. Bullock keeps going to the goal and scores! A brilliant individual effort, coast to coast.
We have talked about the speed and athleticism of the Australian shorties all tournament long. And how about Bullock? Bad outlet pass, and look at him just snare it between 2 Israeli riders. And great head of steam. Look at the little stutter step, absorb the pressure, see the slide, and again, high shot. Watch Altschuler bend down again. Kyle Bergman with the shot after the goal was scored. Sam Bullock, excellent play.
all smiles, receiving congratulations at the Australian bench. 1:55 to go, first half, and the Aussies come up with a draw. That hasn't happened at all prior to that instant right there.
Australia's got the momentum right now. Take care of it in this last 1:44. I look at Coach Meredith has 2 timeouts to work with. I guarantee he uses one in the next 20 seconds.
Lacrosse fans here on Field 10 at Dick's Sporting Goods Park have been treated to 2 excellent lacrosse games back-to-back. Iroquois outlasting Scotland 10-8, and this is a 1-goal game between Israel and Australia.
The Iroquois without the services of Lyle Thompson earlier, who is attending the ESPYs.
Good luck, Lyle.
This evening.
I wonder who he's wearing.
Hadasune.
Yes, indeed. Lawyerson bluffs it, turns the corner, tries to question mark. Nothing there. Good defense sitting down from Adam Crystal. Lawyerson likes to feed from behind the goal. Had a 3-assist game earlier in this tournament, did Lawyerson, against the Iroquois. 40 seconds with which to work in the half.
Israel doing a great job of defending that little 2-man game, that little drag cut that the Australians like to use.
Alex Brown gets inside. Altshuler leaves the crease, and it's floated over top of the goal. Nicely timed bum rush from the goalie there, forcing a wild shot. We get a timeout for Australia with 20 ticks remaining in the half.
I thought they could have used a timeout a little earlier. You got 2 of them. Why not come out, run a play? If you're not comfortable with it, see the formation, call another timeout, and just don't leave them on the table.
Mark, the Israelis had a 4-1 lead after one. The only goals in this second quarter, both from the green and gold.
Well, and I love the shooting. They know that Altshuler is going low on everything. Look at Marty Hyde on the extra man. And then how about Sam Bullock? Unbelievable individual effort. He gets past the pressure of Kyle Bergman. After clearing it coast to coast, he sticks it high to high as well.
Bullock had a goal against Japan in that game that went to sudden victory overtime. Has his name attached to the Melbourne Cricket Club back home, as the Aussies are in the classroom and the rain starts to fall once again. That is correct. You only have 20 seconds to operate.
You heard a comment say wheel back. So look for a circle offense of some sort with rotation. A wheel means exactly just that. It spins like a top. Watch the bodies probably going to their right, and look for a shot coming from the right wing to the right of Altshuler.
.20 seconds left. Israel in blue on top by 1. This is the opening half. Second quarter. Will Pickett on the flip. Newman with good speed, determined to the goal, and he rang the iron. Banked that one off the post. As time's a-wasting now in this opening half. There's the final whistle. Both Israel and Australia can take comfort under cover out of the rain. The Israelis going cold on a 26-minute scoring drought after posting 4 in the first. The 2014 FIL World Lacrosse Championships will continue from Commerce City, Colorado. We are at the half. It's a good one. Australia and Israel back and forth on ESPN3. Lacrosse World Championships on ESPN3. I checked with the local weatherman, Ed Green, KCNC CBS 4. He said the conditions will be perfect for more rain tonight. He's right on the money, isn't he?
He is.
Isn't he? Israel 4-3 over Australia, and the Israelis did make some hay right off the draw.
Well, looking perfect early on, winning all of the face-offs in the first quarter. Ben Smith picks up the loose change and just glides in to stick it. And Israel was off and running. Ari Sussman, second leading scorer in the tournament so far, solves Warren Brown high. And then we're going to get a good look at Levine stepping in. And Warren Brown just wasn't seeing the ball well at all. They made the switch to Vickery. He got some saves, and that allowed Marty Hyde to get a shot high to high on Altshuler. And then, Joe, just a beautiful goal by Sam Bullock. Coast to coast, pinball, sticks it past Altshuler, who drops to his knees prematurely as well. And the Australians right back in this thing.
Sam Bullock, one of the finest individual efforts you will find, and they have the Aussies dancing in the stands.
This is a hearty fan base for the Koalas. We've seen them each and every night packed together, lively, chanting, and their team is in this thing.
Japan beat New Zealand earlier. England downed Germany. Those teams still in the hunt for the top 6 spots in terms of placement. Israel leading Australia. The winner of this game gets the United States in the semifinals tomorrow, a game you can check out at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPNU.
And we're talking, look at, this is a dogfight right here, and if it holds to form, they're going to go right down to the wire, and your reward is you get to play the United States of America, who has proven to be the most dominant team thus far in this World Championship.
A 5-0 United States team. Israel leads in terms of shots. They have the advantage by 1 goal, and they've dominated at the face-off X. They have the possession here with Cody Levine. Out of Cornell. And a whistle away from the ball, flag down.
Looks like another ball came onto the field. I don't know how. Field 8 behind us. There's no action at this hour.
You know what the most appropriate thing of me mentioning the local weatherman, Ed Green, just as I was looking for that note, a raindrop fell on it and splattered it all in my hand. That is, if that's not
karma.
Oh,
it is yeesh. Well, when you said perfect, you had me hooked, and then you said perfect for other things.
That's what I was doing. I was playing a little game. I was trying to reel you in, and he said, oh, it's perfect for weather tonight. By the way, there's been about 4 inches of rain today in this area.
It just comes in spurts, man. It's crazy. We are at 5,000 feet, though.
Yeah, which is why the temperatures are so nice and balmy.
Mm-hmm.
It's cold out there. It's cold in here. Joe Beninati and Mark Dixon with you. I know you're not crying for us. This is a good job to have in the FIL World Lacrosse Championships with the Aussies on the go. Newman on the feed, just running away from that before he made the catch was Marty Hyde, who struck back in the second quarter. Temperatures in the high 50s now at Dick's Sporting Goods Park.
Again, Marty Hyde hanging his stick. Tuck that thing. The Israeli defenders, the long sticks, are long and lean, and they've shown a great affinity to making trail checks. Keep that thing up near your ear for distribution or a shot, and not to get your pocket picked from behind.
Cherry, Miller, and Sussman, the attack for the team from Israel, making its first ever appearance in the FIL World Lacrosse Championships. 38 teams descended upon Commerce City, Colorado. 9 first-timers. And Israel has definitely made an impact. Coppersmith on the throwback. Long drive from Bergman that missed the target.
This Israeli offense a little bit out of sync. They haven't enjoyed a whole lot of possession. And Vickery has made several very good saves.
Sussman deals inside. Levine ducks away, fires and scores. Cody Levine.
I've been talking about the Australians hanging their stick in tight quarters. Get a lesson right here, folks, in Cody Levine on how to protect it. Look at Sussman. Draws 3 yellow jerseys. Look at the the dip, and watch the stick protection. Levine puts it right in front of his face so nobody can get to it, and he realizes there's going to be nobody behind him because he's got 3 jerseys to his right. He knows a guy just missed him on the backside, and he can see 2 guys to his left. Beautiful job by Cody Levine.
The first goal for Israel in some 29 minutes. At age 13 at his bar mitzvah, Cody said he wanted to be a professional lacrosse player. He's making steps with Team Israel in a world championship as they try to shock Australia and earn a berth in the semifinals.
The quickness of the the Israeli face-off man, McCormick, Michael Gross. Between him and McCormick doing a nice job here today.
Gross, who started playing lacrosse in St. Louis, Missouri. He's a dual citizen, has had a long-standing history with this Israeli program. Officials today, Ian Ashworth with Lee Bryan, Scott McCullen, and Ian Wilson. Yaakov Silberlich, 7 in blue. Ari Sussman, 33 on the wing. He's the quarterback, he's the conductor, and he's the super high scorer.
So quick, lethal with this stutter step, and he wants to come back left hand. That's window dressing.
Jitters inside, dives and scores. They're going to wash it out. No goal. Crease violation against Sussman, who doesn't believe the call.
Scored a goal like this against Germany. Look at the quickness. The stick in the right hand is just window dressing. You know he's coming back left. And I think they're going to say contact with the goalie. You are allowed to dive in international lacrosse, but you could see he hit the legs of the goaltender, Vickery, before the ball entered the net. Good call by the officials.
The wind is whipping and the rain is pelting as Morton goes to the goal, somehow manages to keep the ball in his cross, and he's bumped down by Silberlich. There to help is Lawyerson, unsettled Pickett. Back behind the cage, the Aussies move it quickly. Getting topside here, the drive goes wide from Marty Hyde.
Silberlich should have had that ground ball. He didn't get down low on it, and I think he got a little bit of T-Rex arms as he saw the Australian pressure coming. But the Australians dodge a bullet as Sussman made contact with Vickery on the dive shot.
If you are the Australian head coach, Glenn Meredith, and you are looking up to the sky and you're going, no, you got to be kidding. How many times can we take a bath here in Commerce City? The showers, the rain pouring down now, the hardest it's been all game long. This game's original opening faceoff was delayed an hour by severe weather as the whistles blare out again in this two-goal contest.
Looks like we're going to have a crease violation against Australia.
Israel in the blue jerseys, ready to make a move with Harrison Freed, who played both at Michigan and at St. John's University. He was with St. John's while he was pursuing an NBA. This is the starting netminder, Altschuler. The backup goalie is a tremendous story. Reuven Dressler, drafted into the Army as a medical doctor in his mid-30s. He was saying he hadn't played a competitive lacrosse game in some 20 years. Our Jamie Monroe coached him at Yale. Robinson comes to call, dropping the hatchet there at midfield. And Levine was running for his life. Robinson's on his way to the box.
We had a flag down in the defensive zone, but in international lacrosse, referees don't throw their flags. They just hold it in the air and wave it. And when they get to the midfield line, they give a gentle toss. Here we're going to see Altschuler get rid of the ball. Oh, come on. I mean, really?
That's embellishment.
And then there we see, this is not embellished. Whack, whack, whack. That is the big koala getting him some. I thought the first call was unwarranted, but that, there, you got Robinson, he deserves to be in the
show
box.
off your lumberjacking skills like that, you're going to be in trouble.
So now there might be 3 flags as the referees are trying to sort this out.
Illegal body check. Blue goalkeeper.
You heard the illegal body check.
Okay. Sorry, it's number 8. Somebody say 8? Number 8. Number 8. Okay, number 8's a serve. So it's going to take 1 minute for an illegal body check. 2 gold with a push. It's going to take 30 seconds. And we have 7 blue with a push. And he's going to take 30 seconds. Simultaneous fouls, lesser penalties, blue ball. Thank you.
All right.
So you hear it just like the coaches hear.
So Silberlich with the push. I didn't see his infraction.
Head coach Meredith, head coach Baroza, all of them on the sideline as the penalty boxes become more full. We get back to the action and see 4 defenders protecting Tom Vickery in the Aussie goal.
5-on-4 right now.
In the midst of a deluge, by the way. Sussman deals with Levine. Switch it up, Coppersmith on the perimeter there. Bergman, one more. Cherry on the sneak. His pass was low. This is 5-on-4 for the Israelis. That pass will get away from Levine, and it will be Australia's ball.
Well, here's the tough. Just trying to see where Silberlich, if we can. Here we're going to see Robinson. There's the push. And there's Silberlich, cheap shot. I have not been impressed with number 7 in blue at all tonight, doing things like that.
Yakov is a full-time lacrosse coach living in Israel. He's been all over the world. He's moved to Australia. He's traveled to Indonesia and Hong Kong. And he's in the crosshairs of Mark Dixon right now.
Well, it's just, you know, look, he's a talented, gifted athlete. He's gotten up and down the field nicely, but chirping at Robinson after Robinson walks away.
That's ill-advised.
Earlier, and then Robinson there. You know there's going to be a flag, and you already have a flag down in the defensive half of the field. Why jack a guy in the back when it's obvious you're going to have a two-man advantage?
5-3 for Israel. Levine scoring early in this third quarter to end a 29-minute drought. Israel came out scorching in the opening quarter, had 4 quick ones. The Aussies have reeled them back in. Australia with a mark of 2-3 out of blue division play. Israel in its first ever world championship, they were slotted in the orange division. They made mincemeat of that group. They waltzed past Germany yesterday. They're in the quarterfinals of the championship bracket right here. Should they hold on and upset Australia, they'll get the big bad United States tomorrow. Semifinal action, 6:30 Eastern on ESPNU. Diver off the split dodge, rolling back to the middle. Fires and scores! Matt Diver.
Diver is so dangerous, and he hitched the shot. I thought he was going to unleash it about a half second earlier. Look at him get the step. This is where I thought he was going to shoot it, right there. But he hitches it, and that's not bad defense. Right there, you need to get a stick on the gloves. I know the defender got a touch, which is not bad, but I think getting a stick in the gloves and maybe lifting would have been better. But, geez, Diver, such a talented shooter. Little hitch, worm burner, cuts the Israeli lead back to 1.
You should bow down to the way that man can deliver the ball. Matt Diver. That release was very crafty between defenders. Almost halfway through this third quarter. Israel in blue on the lead by 1. They have the ball. By the way, Mark, our booth has sprung a leak. Just want to let our technicians know that. Noach Miller on the way to the goal, stopped there by Vickery. The reason I say that is because we are wired to the electronics that are sitting on the table.
Yes.
And I got a feeling there's a good chance it could be some shocking commentary before too long. It's raining in the booth.
I tell you, we've seen it all this week.
Yes, sir.
We have seen it all.
Yes, sir.
And we've seen some great lacrosse. I tell you, this is this quarterfinal, shaping up to be everything about as good as advertised. And then on top of the Scotland-Iroquois game that was terrific.
Yakov Silberlich badgered to the outside. Nyberg calling on him. Switch it for Daniel Leventhal as he works to this alley. From the sharp angle, why not? Sent it wide of Vickery with Ross Hamilton running there defensively.
Are we in short up here?
I don't know about that, but I just see water collecting near electronics, and I kind of get a little worried.
Nervous.
You do remember the end of the Iroquois-Australia game when the headsets just went kablooey. Sussman fires. That's snagged by Vickery. And the pass comes on through Bullock. Rolls all the way to Lawyerson, and he will set up shop. 6-on-6 for the Aussies. They can tie it here.
Vickery continues to make a difference for Australia. He's made 3 or 4 really nice saves in a night where both defenses have played very well. And quality shots are at a premium. Vickery has made several nice saves.
Bullock runs off for an offensive-minded sub. Glenn Meredith, the head coach for Australia, will provide. 6-on-6 with just a shade over 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Marching in, driving its hide, loses his defender and rings it off the post. That caught a whole lot of the crossbar.
Hyde, Lawyerson, Brown, the attack for Australia seems to be much more comfortable against this very physical, very talented Israeli defense.
Swinging on back up top for Nigel Morton. He was the hero against Team Japan. Gets the step on Citadino. Inside score! Anson Carter has tied it.
This is the reason we highlighted Anson Carter at the top of the show. Just excellent work by the Dodgers of Australia. This is Morton He breaks down Casey Cittadino, which is not easy to do. He earns the slide, and then the fill by Carter, and the redirect. And Altschuler right now is asking his defense to tighten up those slides, be a little bit more judicious before leaving a guy wide open on the crease like that.
Israel's goals against average in the first 5 games, a mere 3.6. They've surrendered 5 now to the Australians, who've rallied back from a 4-1 deficit to draw even. Championship bracket quarterfinal action at Dick's Sporting Goods Park on another soggy night. Wednesday, day 7 of this tournament, with the semifinals looming, the United States and Canada resting. Iroquois having punched its way through to the semis. They'll square off with the Canadians. 9:30 Eastern on ESPNU. Hyde going to the goal. He scores! Marty Hyde, not to be denied.
You got the sense that Australia was feeling a lot more comfortable after Marty Hyde stuck the extra man goal against Israel. And now he goes right into the heart of the blue defense. He just runs by his man. Great stutter step move. What I do like, however, is Hyde paid the price. He was knocked on his keister for coming inside, but he sticks the goal. And Australia right now is feeling it from down under.
They're rabid fans in attendance and loving it. Israel on its heels for the first time in the tournament. First time they have possibly trailed in the tournament when you consider the way that they have manhandled the competition. Smith working in. Quickly they generate on the outside for Noach Miller and then settle it down for face-off man Cole McCormick.
Whereas Australia looked tired and listless in the first quarter and a half. They now have a bounce in their step, a lot of confidence, and I attribute a lot of that, Joe, to the goaltending of Vickery. Tom Vickery coming in and keeping Israel at bay has galvanized this team and has let the offense find their groove.
Agreed. McCormick got possession, though. Cole, a new resident of Israel, moved to Israel a week after he graduated from Cornell. Most of his 30 cousins play the sport. Coppersmith on the feed. Cherry ducks in and scores! Matthew Cherry from no angle.
This is a great goal by Matthew Cherry. Again, selling the left hand. I'm going to shoot. Face dodge. Is he going to dive? And Vickery off of his goal line because I think he anticipated the dive. And Cherry recognizes that he's off his line, off his pipe. He beats Takarua and slips it past Vickery. Great individual effort by Matthew Cherry.
Takarua performing in his 4th World Championships, all-world back in the summer of '06. To the face-off X we go. Gross digging in against Brad Sheldon. Ben Smith has been very good on the ground balls off the wing, helping Israel dominate at the face-off X.
He's been terrific all game long. He has the goal, and I've been impressed with how he gets the ball, because the wing play for Australia is not bad, but Smith is able to get there, get it to space, and pick it up cleanly.
Bergman feeds for Sussman, the 26-year-old Ari Sussman, who hails from New Haven, Connecticut. Lee Coppersmith jogs in off the sideline. Coppersmith with speed off the split there, drawing 2. Sheldon forced the ball out of his cross. On the doorstep, Callum Robinson comes up with it, explosively away from the crease. Robinson, who plays at Stevenson University in the Baltimore area for Paul Cantabene, can obviously use his feet well.
Great job at kicking it to open space. Robinson, 6'5". He knew he wasn't going to be able to get his cross down to pick up the ground ball. He just slots it over with his feet to his teammate, and the Australians are back on the offense.
Buckle your seatbelts, folks. This promises to be a very interesting remaining 23 minutes in regulation time. 6-all and a semifinal berth against the United States at stake for the winner of this one. Pickett drawing away from the defense of Seth Mahler. Mahler, who immigrated to Israel last June. He's a full-time coach in Ashkelon, that town so close to the Gaza Strip. Nigel Morton on the back pedal for the Aussies. A hat trick in the first game of the tournament for 15 in the gold. Trying to lose Cittadino in the wash. Bring it back up top for Pickett. They're shutting off on Graham. Morton inverted. Off the split dodge, Cittadino stopped him in his tracks. Brown and Morton playing hand in glove. Pickett content to bring it back up top for the speedy Graham. He wants to invert. Took a chop there from Bergman. Final 2 minutes of quarter 3. Graham on the delay, playing the two-man game with Alex Brown. Stall warning against the Australians. Morton on the hop. Sweeping to his right. Cittadino says, no, you don't. Anson Carter, who has helped to provide here in the third quarter. Carter turns, gets a bump there. Pickett fires, he scores! Will Pickett does it again.
Outstanding offense by the Australians. Working low to high, low to high, low to high. And all the movement, all the activity finally gets Pickett a good matchup. It was out of a deuces set, so a 2-2-2. And then they finally get Pickett with a stutter step move and the bouncer pass out Schuler. Excellent offense by Australia.
They're well protected against the elements, those Aussie fans. They're watching Will Pickett shoot right over the head of Harrison Freed and make it 7-6 for Australia in the final minute of the third quarter. Australia has not won many draws, but they get possession of this one. Going right to the goal, there's a whistle here. A whistle, and one assumes a timeout from Coach Meredith of Australia. A back and forth affair. Israel right off the jump to a 4-1 advantage. Australia, however, reeling them in and passing them here in the third quarter. The latest to strike, Will Pickett, who scored twice against Japan for his best game of the tournament. Also had a couple of points against Iroquois. When you know you're playing against Australia, you better focus on number 8 in the gold.
And I just am really impressed with how he's played today. Extra man goal, solves out Schuler, really got the Australian offense rolling. Then he comes up top, takes on 3 blue jerseys, gets dumped to the turf for his efforts. But you can tell he's a key emotional leader for Glenn Meredith's ball club.
Been a really good game. Spirited on the field and in the stands, of course. Anytime Australia's involved, their vocal faithful have been super.
So I mentioned a 2-2-2 set from Australia. That's 2 players behind, 2 on the wing, and 2 up top. What the 2 underneath players do is they kind of crisscross behind the cage, sharing it, picking and repicking in a 2-man game. While up top, the players are on a line. They're linear to the goalpost, almost like a basketball offense, picking and repicking and exchanging. And what that does is you hope the defense, 1 gets confused or 2 gets tired or both. And that time Pickett got a defender off of his balance. He was able to get leverage. He saw the hips of the defender going to the outside. Pickett came inside and just unleashed a beautiful bouncer.
Hop, hop, hop. He's happy for the moment. Let's do the math. 13 goals on the board total by 11 different scorers. Thank you for making my point. On screen, too. Diver, 30 seconds left. Carter, quick stick just wide. Backed up by Brownie, overran it. Israel has the ball, Adam Crystal. Waving off the pressure, floating one out for Yakov Silberlicht. In the final 20 seconds, Israel can have the last possession of the third quarter. Silberlicht on the back scoop for Ben Smith. And now we see a flag down late in the frame. The call is going to be slashing.
18 on Australia. Matt Diver earns the flag. Must have been behind the play.
Israel head coach Bill Barroza, the last time the World Games were in the United States in 1998, he was an assistant coach for Team USA. We have completed 3 quarters in Commerce City, Colorado, not far from downtown Denver. Israel bumping, grinding with Australia. This game promises to have an outstanding finish. We are nip and tuck through 3 with the Aussies on top by 1 on ESPN3. Heading to the final 20 minutes. Championship bracket quarterfinal action. Israel and Australia, the winner of this game, will square off with the United States tomorrow, 6:30 on ESPNU Eastern Time. Australia, a team which came in third the last time the World Games were contested 4 years ago in Manchester, squaring off with Team Israel, making its first ever appearance on the big stage and acquitting itself nicely. A perfect 5-0, 5 blowouts for the guys in the blue jerseys. This one nowhere near as lopsided as their previous encounters.
And because of the foul on Diver at the end of the period, no face-off, automatic possession and extra man opportunity for Israel.
In the penalty box and receiving treatment too, as this one's pumped wide by Cody Levine.
This has been an outstanding contest. Both of these teams leaving it all out on the field.
Thank goodness the rain has subsided. The temperatures are in the 50s. Vickery stays hot, though, in the goal with a good save from point-blank range. Australians in the gold jerseys. Graham, very fleet of foot. For Callum Robinson, who slips past the ride of Noah Miller. Noah is a full-time youth coach. He coaches a coexistence team, Mark, between Jews and Arabs, trying to bridge the divide in that region.
That's unbelievable.
Remarkable.
When you think about the climate between the cultures, and Noah Miller has had an unbelievable tournament. A lot of leadership for this Israeli team.
3 goals against Germany, helping to push the Israelis into this quarterfinal action. Brown on the throwback, Marty Hyde to the goal mouth. Stiglich, the quick stick. Freed was there with him, and Altschuler will take it off the outside of the goal.
Good defense by Freed, and I love how Altschuler held his pipe. So important. I'm not a goalie by any stretch. You are. But I'm telling you, that's a fundamental flaw you see in goaltenders, coming off of their pipe when guys are to their left or right, almost at goal line extended. They just give them that sliver to slip it by you, and Altschuler held his ground beautifully that time.
Can't flinch. Altschuler's pass right into coverage. Lawyerson on the intercept, which means Eitan Saperstein has to get back in defensively.
And I love how Lawyerson kept it up near his head. Saperstein makes a living out of trail checks.
Let's see if the Aussies in gold can go to that other level. Out of the blue division, they lost 3 times, did Australia. Bested by the United States, Iroquois, and Canada, the superpowers in this sport. Tangling with the Israelis and leading 7-6. They fell behind right off the jump, 4-1. Good stick check. The takeaway made there, Crystal. Sticks flying everywhere. Brown comes up unsettled for their Australia. 6-on-6, 3 minutes into the 4th.
The helicopter.
Lawyerson scores! Lawyerson got free and gives Australia its largest lead on the night.
Credit this goal to Alex Brown. And getting a copter out of Casey Cittadino is not easy. Beautiful lift and takeaway. And look at that back butt check. That must have been 3 full rotations, Joe. And then we're going to see the look inside, the fake, coming around Lawyerson. He just powers past his defender.
It was Alex Brown who made the terrific check that forced the turnover. Lawyerson gets his first on the day. Definitely not his first of the tournament. He had 2 against Japan, 1 against Iroquois, and 1 against England. We continue to see a lot of different names on the scoreboard. It's 8-6 for Australia. That's the only stat that matters as the Aussies shoot for a berth against Team USA. The United States beat the Australians 16-7 in group play earlier in the week.
How does Israel respond? They haven't trailed at all in this tournament. They have been dominant from whistle to whistle in all 5 of their wins. How do they respond being down 2 goals now?
Ari Sussman skips in against Fuss, plays for Leventhal, bring it this way, Silverlick around the horn. A long drive from Shafitz, snared by Vickery. And Mark, you made a very cogent comment, a very, very sharp thought when you said Vickery's been the difference since coming off the bench.
He's just a better goaltender than Warren Brown. I think he gives his team a better chance to win. And he has been so fundamentally sound, making stops that he should make and a couple that he really didn't have any business making. He has just been phenomenal tonight for the Sharks.
The 21-year-old Graham, 6 in the goal with a very fluid running stride, yields the ball first to Fuss and then to Hyde as the Aussies try to improve upon a 2-goal advantage 15 minutes away from the semifinals. Iroquois got 4 goals from Miles Thompson earlier today, outlasted Scotland, a very game bunch of Scots, 10-8. So Iroquois and Canada will see each other again. That was an incredibly physical game when they met in Blue Division play.
Great comeback by the Iroquois, and at the end of that game, flags were flying, about 6 different penalties administered. There is no love lost between the Iroquois and the Canadians. I know they both can't wait to get after each other.
That game
tomorrow.
wasn't settled, Mark, until there were 19 seconds left. Curtis Dixon doing the honors as Carter bounced it wide.
And that's the thing. How will the Iroquois defend number 71 for the Canadians? He scored 3 goals against them and just seemed to really be floating underneath. Remember, most of the Iroquois guys are box players. And this field game, it's only about the 7th or 8th time these cumulative games they've played together as a unit.
From this point of view, we see the defense form in front of Altschuler. Australians keeping the ball wide. Pickett. Boy, has he had a knack for scoring the timely goal in this tournament. Morton to the alley. Floats one towards the cage. That almost turned out to be a shot as Hank Altschuler watched it go wide. It's Israel ball.
That was Pickett, I don't think, was expecting the feed. He did have a step on his man, but oftentimes when they do those drag cuts, it's behind the cage and not in front. Pickett not expecting that feed.
Yakov Silberlich, who played at Hobart College, immigrated to Israel in January. Citadino jogging with it. Israel in blue, Australia in green and gold. Just about 7 minutes into the 4th quarter on a nippy night. I mean cold. It's got to be in the low 50s now with rain most of this evening. The original face-off time pushed by an hour as we are now, 9:30 local in Rocky Mountain time. It is chilly. Sent wide by Bergman.
One player who's been incredibly quiet the last couple quarters is Cody Levine, number 16. I'd like to see the Israelis get him more involved in the offense.
Working in, Sussman floats it. Coppersmith fires. That was deflected. Good defense by Callum Mortimer. And on the end line, they're going to give it to Australia.
Robinson in those long strides. He's very good at running to the end line when he's behind the cage. He's almost sprinting toward that end line before the shot's even released. And he's won possession for the Australians a couple of times tonight.
Joe Beninati, Mark Dixon with you. ESPN 3's continuing coverage of the FIL World Lacrosse Championships. Dick's Sporting Goods Park, Commerce City, Colorado. We can't shout thanks enough to all the men and women in our technical crew for their efforts all day long, all 8 and 9 days long. 10 days before it's done on Saturday when they crown a champion. Australia and Israel providing the entertainment tonight on Field 10. The nightcap, the final game of the day, day 7, and it's been a very good one. Lawyerson, the last man on the board for Australia. Let's see the game management now from Glenn Meredith and his Aussie squad. They can't shut it down just yet. There's a long way to go. Pickett throws back for Hyde. Hyde doesn't get topside. Right there in his grill was Saperstein.
I don't think they're going to take the gas off the pedal, but this is already a pretty methodical group.
They do try to lull you to sleep. Stiglich running for cover away from Harrison Freed.
We'll just see if the referees have not put a stall on Australia yet tonight. And I can't recall if they did one in the first quarter or not. I don't think they did. But do the referees change the way they officiate this game? Because Australia will take 2.5, 3 minutes off the clock.
Altschuler, good intercept. That was intended for Anson Carter. It never arrived. The bounce pass from Altschuler. A little bit of an adventure on the clear. Citadino says, calm down, I've got it under control, and he'll bring it in.
Altschuler was trying to draw the interference call, and the Australian player moved out of the way.
Bergman through the seam. Sussman. No angle there. Vickery and Takarua took care of that.
Sussman playing with that traditional pocket. You don't see that a whole lot, except really with the Iroquois team playing with that traditional rawhide pocket.
Ari Sussman, an all-state soccer player in high school, son of Richard and Nina. Didn't play in Major League Lacrosse this summer. Wanted to focus on leading this team, Team Israel, into the World Championships. Coppersmith on the go. Again defended well by Callum Mortimer. Bergman slings it inside, great look. Sussman scores! Ari Sussman.
Great look by Bergman. Great finish by Sussman. Just a couple seconds ago, this was the same play, and Sussman shot it, and it went wide. This time, he gets his feet moving, he greets the ball. He's got a head of steam. Bad approach by Takarua. Sussman goes underneath. He does not dive this time. Finishes it clean in front of the cage. The remarkable point totals for Ari Sussman in this tournament continue to climb. It's a one-goal game. We're more than halfway through the fourth. You saw McCormick right there, a little hiccup before the whistle blew. Violation gives the ball back to Australia.
Cole's a program director in Ashkelon, that town so close to the Gaza Strip. Brown fires this one into the turf over top. Alex Brown, 27 years of age, from the Wembley club team. They're in season in Australia. The clubs usually play Tuesdays and Thursdays.
That would have been a big goal as he beat the Israelis out of the box. It was a 6-on-5 for the gold, but he just fires over top of the cage.
Lawyerson wheels it for Morton, bring it up top where Matthew Fuss, the 22-year-old, will work in on the sprint. Fuss feeds back behind the cage. Hyde, always a threat. He and Lawyerson like to work together and trying to create picks and passing lanes. From the top, Nigel Morton ready to go in his mid-20s. Picked up on the outside by Ben Smith. Fuss floats it to the corner. Lawyerson changing the point of attack. Brown. Off in the background, you hear the Aussie fans. Brown turns. Met well. Good hit there. Silverlick doing the honors defensively. Yakov Silverlick comes out of there with a ground ball. Lowers his head. Ran right into 3 gold jerseys. Whistles blare out. The hold's going to give the ball to Australia with 7:40 to go.
Excellent game management by the officials. It looked like there was a push, but the referees let him play. On the other end of the field previously, Callum Mortimer hit one of the Israeli players. It was a glance, and they kept the flags in their pocket.
Stiglich checked immediately. End to end comes Eitan Saperstein. Leaves it in his wake for Smith. The 2 long poles going ahead. They've got numbers. Miller off the split. Rolls there. Good defense by Nyberg. Another roll dodge to safety from Pickett. He shoved near the out-of-bounds line. He stayed in. Nigel Morton will clear it ahead. Hyde going to the cage. Sharp angle. Slings it wide of the mark.
Great defense by the Australians. Watch the length of Callum Robinson be the difference. Good job by Miller to spin away from pressure. But Robinson, 6'5" with 70 inches of titanium, depossesses the Israelis. And they get a huge possession turnover to get back on offense. Robinson has been a real difference maker tonight, along with goaltender Tom Vickery.
Nice of you to leave me right there, because we're going to show the fans on ESPN3 just how good Vickery has been when called upon. Australia has an 8-7 lead late in the fourth.
Relieved starter Warren Brown about a third through the first quarter, and that was his first save. Welcome to the quarterfinals, Tom Vickery, but he's been good high, he's been athletic enough to get low, and he's just reading the shooters. And he's not cheating as much with his stick as he was early in the game, meaning keeping it waist high. He's been keeping it a little bit higher. And Tom Vickery has just been outstanding with 9 saves so far in this game.
Australia trying to level its mark in this tournament. Their 2 wins out of the blue division against Japan in sudden victory overtime. And once again, they put a strangle onto England, downing them 10-7. It to roars of approval from the Australian fans in the stands, and to the cheers of head coach Glenn Meredith, who hitches up his britches for the remaining 6:50. The winner of this game gets the United States in the semifinals. You can check all that action out 6:30 Eastern on ESPNU. The nightcap, Iroquois and Canada. I think we have a very nice menu for the lacrosse lover tomorrow on ESPNU.
Absolutely. The Australians, the speed and athleticism, they hung with the U.S. in the first meeting. And then, of course, the Iroquois and Canada part 2. That is going to be a battle.
Israel says, don't forget about us. The Israelis are not put to bed yet. Far from it, in fact. Trailing by 1 with 6.5 to go. Looking for the equalizer at the offensive end. Yakov Silberlich for Noach Miller. And then Matt Cherry. Cherry is running stride for stride with Keith Nyberg. Miller, who played at Vermont. Silberlich leaves it up top. And that's where 26-year-old Kyle Bergman, another Dragon from Drexel University, will play. Coppersmith and Cody Levine in tandem on this flank. Coppersmith from the top. Draws 2. Rolls away from the pressure. Bergman thought about it. Didn't pull the trigger. Takarua with the active stick. Knocked down the pass. Less than 6 minutes to go. Cherry dancing in. Nyberg angles him. Cherry sent it through the goal mouth, wide of the cage. Look at Callum Robinson race to the sideline and earn the ball for Australia.
4th time he's done it tonight. Outstanding, using his body to just shield the Israeli from the ball.
Sam Bullock makes a mad dash towards the cage. Long range drive sizzled wide from Anson Carter. We have not seen a lot of Matt Diver in recent moments, so it's Carter who's shooting from long range as Diver tiptoes in off the sideline right now. Hyde, marked by Saperstein. 8-7 Australia in gold.
And the player missing from Israel, in my opinion, is Cody Levine. Played such a tremendous first half.
Morton working in against Cittadino. Lawyerson flags that down. Marty Hyde keeps it moving for Will Pickett. Levine there in a defensive posture now against Pickett, who's pretty crafty working off the end line. Lowers the shoulder. Doesn't give it up just yet as you watch the defense form in front of the netminder Altshuler. Hyde lost the handle. Recaptures, then gets stick checked by Saperstein. Great hustle there from Anson Carter.
You gotta love the takeaway ability of the Israeli defenders.
Morton, nice move, fires it wide. Australia looking for insurance here late in the 4th.
The Israeli defense looks a little tired right now. Saperstein with the takeaway, but it looks like he didn't have enough juice in his legs to get to the ground ball. This Israeli team has played a ton of defense here in the 4th quarter, and they're looking a little tired.
Much more than they would have in any of their previous 5 games in this tournament when they decimated their competition. Diver, that's a tough shot. Yanked wide of the goal. Backed up, however, by Alex Brown.
Not a smart shot either, because if Altshuler gets a piece of that, it's ricocheting towards his way, and he's going to run it out of bounds to win possession.
The Aussies have come in second in this tournament in the past 4 times, but they haven't done that in 20 years. They want a semifinal date. The bounce shot score! Alex Brown!
The Australian fans are jumping for joy. Alex Brown has been a scrapper all night. We saw the helicopter check against Casey Cittadino, and I love the redirection of Nigel Wilson. He runs the ball behind the cage, draws 2 defenders, wheels back, gets it up to Brown, and look at the little guy with the beautiful bouncer. And is he excited? Do they want to play the United States? You betcha.
You know he does. He scored twice against the Stars and Stripes in the first meeting. Team USA downing Australia 16-7. If this score holds, if Australia hangs on, they'll have the semifinal berth with the United States, the first of 2 semis tomorrow on ESPNU, 6:30 Eastern Time. Iroquois, Canada in the nightcap.
Great play by Cody Levine, picking the ball off of the wing. Levine, number 16 in blue, has not left the field in the last 4 minutes. He's been playing offense. He was there for that entire defensive sequence, but I do think he's the guy that can make a play offensively for Israel.
Bergman working in. Israel so high scoring, off to a 5-0 mark in this tournament. They need goals now. Coppersmith dishes. Levine swims into the alley. Nothing there. Bergman fires. He sailed it high. Nice looking release from Kyle Bergman.
And I love Levine's ability to draw slides.
Cherry with a speed rush. Inside Bergman. Knocked down there. Vickery at the doorstep. 2 minutes to go. Australia's lead is 2.
If Australia holds on to win this game, that's my man of the match right there. That's my MVP of this game. And there's 1A. Number 1 is 19 in gold. Number 2 is 2 in gold. The defense for Australia coming up huge. Look at Bergman, backside. Vickery, not today.
Turnover, steal, Cherry walks in, 2-on-1, feed, Sussman, doorstep, he scores! It's a 1-goal game.
The Israelis will not go away. Great ride. Helicopter by Alex Brown. Now a helicopter check by Cherry. And look at the patience and poise. Draw the slide, dump it down. 1-on-1, Sussman. And look at the pump fakes. Vickery has made so many great doorstop checks. Doorstop saves. Sussman did well to be patient, and he sticks the ball in the back of the net. And the flag down looks to be on Australia. And the only question is, was that a dead ball foul, which means no face-off, automatic possession for Israel. But it looks like it's going to be a live ball, and we're going to have possession go over, we're going to have a face-off.
Nyberg is in the box with a shake of the head. Israel wouldn't have wanted the ball in any other cross than Ari Sussman's right there. He gets his 3rd goal of the game. It's 9-8 with 1:35 to go. Digging on the draw. Sheldon for Australia. Gross for Israel. It comes up to Ben Smith, and the Israelis get time. Their final timeout in regulation. Woo! Has this one been good?
This has been a terrific contest. Both of these teams getting after it, leaving it all on the field. And now the extra man opportunity for Israel. Can the Australian defense, led by Tom Vickery and Callum Robinson, do they have another stop left in their bag of tricks?
A chance now to just make our point a little bit more bold. Here's what's at stake, the championship bracket. In the semifinals, we know Iroquois and Canada go tomorrow night, 9:30 on ESPNU. The winner of Australia and Israel will see Team USA.
And hey, in less than 24 hours, your reward is to play the best team in the world right now, defending world champions, #1 seed in the blue division. But I tell you what, Joe, I mean, we said at the beginning of the tournament, Iroquois, Canada, US, they're the top 3, then there's a drop-off. But how about Scotland giving the Iroquois everything they can handle? Israel giving everything Australia can handle. Lacrosse on the international scene, much like NCAA, men's Division 1, 2, and 3. We're seeing the gap close a little bit between the dominant nations and the up-and-comers.
Let's reset it for you. Nyberg's in the box, 1:25 to go in the 4th. Australia on top by 1, 9-8. The lead goal coming from Alex Brown. Most recently, though, Ari Sussman has sandwiched 2 goals around that Australian strike. It's a 1-goal deficit, and there's Vickery, the man earlier in this tournament dealing with a personal matter back home, a tragic loss, and he has bounced back from it, cleared his mind, and is performing admirably in the goal for the Aussies. Long range, whistled wide by Coppersmith as he flailed at that one. 67 seconds to go in the 4th. Israel on the extra man. Coppersmith, Sussman. This way, Levine fires. Vickery makes the save, shovels over, and somehow kept control of the rebound.
You kidding me? That was a nasty shot, far post by Levine, and Vickery robs him.
Thomas Graham has the ball. He's running for cover. The U-view shows you the goaltending brilliance of Vickery. Tick-tock, tick-tock, 35 seconds to go.
No clearing count either. We'll see how the referees deal with this. If they throw the get it in against Australia, which means all the passes will have to be forward.
Takarua's pass is a bad one. It's Israel's ball with 25 seconds to go.
Wow, he completes that pass. Another 7 to 10 seconds come off the clock.
Takarua had some costly miscues in a tight game against Japan earlier in the tournament. Israel working in, Bergman taking matters into his own hands. He bounced it wide. He drew a flag. 15 seconds left.
Bergman has been impressive all game long. Just a guy who brings his lunch pail to the field, keeps his head down. Look at him, stick fake, gets inside, there's the hold. Good call by the referee. That's a solid call. People say, oh, come on, game on the line. That's a hold in the first quarter. That's a hold in the second quarter. That's a hold in the fourth quarter with 15 seconds left.
9-8 Australia. Israel, one final ditch effort late in regulation. Sussman straight up top. Levine inside, knocked down by Callum Robinson. Loses the doorstep. Cherry denied by Vickery. Another brilliant save for the Aussie keeper, and that's going to do it. Australia hangs on. Yes, sir. Tom Vickery, you have the right to be excited. A brilliant goaltending performance and a 9-8 win for the Aussies.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable effort. Tom Vickery, 3 monster saves in the last 40 seconds of action, all on man-down situations. And how about Ari Sussman? The creativity around the crease. Not only do you get one shot off, but a second shovel shot. And, oh my goodness, Tom Vickery, stand up. That was a brilliant goaltending performance that you're never, ever, ever going to forget.
In the 2014 FIL World Lacrosse Championships, the semifinals are set for Thursday at Dick's Sporting Goods Park, the main stadium. Iroquois, Canada, that's the nightcap. That's the 9:30 Eastern Time ESPNU start. Australia and the United States will get it started 6:30. Match of a Blue Division game won by the U.S. 16-7.
Obviously, you think the U.S. is going to be the heavy favorite, but Tom Vickery, if he can duplicate that effort, he'll give the red, white, and blue a run for their money. Canada, Iroquois, round 2. That is a pick'em. And tell you what, bring your arm pads, because that is going to be a slugfest.
Mark, great job by you. I enjoyed it. We'll see you on Friday. For Mark Dixon, for all the men and women in our crew, Joe Beninati, thanks for your time. Australia wins a white knuckler over Israel by the final of 9-8. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. It was hard-hitting. It was high-scoring. The goaltending was good. The fans were fantastic. And in the end, Australia ekes out a 1-goal decision. They'll meet the United States in the semis Thursday.